Good morning, everybody. This is Stephen Pugh of the Home Bible College. I want to do a book review. It is the 26th of March 2017. I have a book here which has become a favourite of mine. Do you remember I said that for the New Testament there was a Bullinger's Englishman's Greek lexicon for the New Testament, and I talked about the particular format in which it was set out, how that there was the various Greek words were set out according to their various usages, with numbers against each one, and then there was the list of scriptures, and they had the number against each reference. Well, apparently there was another book which I now have on my shelf, and this is a copy of it. I'll show you exactly what it looks like. It's called Wilson's Old Testament Word Studies. William Wilson. Now, it's taken me quite some time to be able to find out who this man was. This is set out in exactly the same format, or in fact it could be that it is the Bullinger's lexicon that's set out in the same format as this. Okay, and you'll see the reason why in a moment. This book, along with Bullinger, Wilson's Word Studies, is absolutely priceless. It's beautifully bound by now let me just see who the publisher is. I think it's Hendrickson. Yes, it's bound by Hendrickson, beautifully bound. This will last me all my life out now, and it is absolutely indispensable for Old Testament words. Now, I've been doing a bit of research. I couldn't find in my copy any reference to I couldn't find any reference to the author. I couldn't find a copyright, a standard copyright. I also couldn't find any information easily about who William Wilson was. However, eventually Wikipedia has come to my rescue. So let me tell you a little bit about William Wilson. He lived between, we think, 1783 and 1873. He was Canon of Winchester. He was born in 1882 or 83, we're not sure. He was the son of John Wilson of Kendal in Westmoreland. He matriculated from Queen's College, Oxford, and graduated a BA in 1805, an MA in 1808. A Bachelor of Divinity in 1820 and a Doctor of Divinity in 1824. He was a Fellow of the College from 11th of May 1815 to 1825. He filled the offices of Dean and Bursar in 1822. In 1829 he was Senior Proctor. He was ordained Deacon in 1805 and Priest in 1808. And in 1808 he was Curate of Cologne again in Essex. He was appointed headmaster of St Bean's Grammar School on the 5th of January 1881, and during his tenure of his office discovered grave abuses in the affairs of the school, especially in regard to the lease of the coal royalty in 1743. His efforts to obtain redress rendered his position untenable, and he was driven by the persecution of the governors to resign his post on the 20th of May 1816. But he had a large share in calling Lord Brougham's attention to the mismanagement of the educational charities, and thus bringing about their reform in regard to the mining royalty. Sir William Lowther, 2nd Earl of Lonsdale, a representative of the original guarantee, was ordered in 1827 by a decree of the Lord Chancellor to pay into the court £5,000 for the benefit of the school. Now, on the 28th of July 1824, Wilson was instituted on the presentation of Queen's College to the Vicarage of Holyrood, Southampton, a benefit which he retained until his death. On the 3rd of February 1832, he was collated to the second stall in Winchester Cathedral. As canon, he gave very effectual assistance to John Bird Sumner, in the work of the diocese, and in 1850 he published The Student's Guide to the More Correct Understanding of the Old Testament by Reference to the Original Hebrew. Now a second edition appeared in 1866 under the title An English, Hebrew and Chaldee Lexicon and Concordance to the More Correct Understanding of the English Translation of the Old Testament by Reference to the Original Hebrew. And it's this book which I now have in my hand. So this was produced in 1866. I've noticed when I'm looking at it that there's no copyright. There was hardly any details really about when it was produced, but I've been able to find that. Now Wilson was a considerable Hebrew scholar, and his work has never been superseded yet. He died on the 2nd of August 1873 in the Close, Winchester, and was buried on the 27th of August at Preston, Candover. In February 1930 at Goldmunning, Surrey, he married Maria, daughter of Robert Sumner, Vicar of Kenilworth, and sister of John Bird Sumner, Archbishop of Canterbury, and Charles Richard Sumner, Bishop of Winchester. By her he had a son, Sumner Wilson, who became Vicar of Preston, Candover. Now, besides this particular work, he published a number of other works, 5 works especially, which we won't go into now. But I do want to highly recommend this book. It is absolutely priceless. Let me read a little bit at the back. It says, gain a better understanding of the word meanings in the Old Testament with Wilson's Old Testament Word Studies. Wilson's is a valuable tool for both Hebrew students and those who do not have a working knowledge of the language. Wilson's helps in understanding word meanings and difficult passages. It is both an exhaustive dictionary and a concordance, since significant English words translated from more than one original Hebrew word have a listing of major scripture references coded to each original Hebrew word used. Entries are arranged in the English alphabetical order, giving every Hebrew word with its literal English meaning. Can't remember what this cost. It wasn't a great deal, but I can assure you that that's the sort of book which will be with me for the rest of my life, and I refer to it all the time whenever I'm in Old Testament passages. Yes, what else can I say? This book is able to be downloaded on the internet from various sites. You have to sign up to get it, and having it on your computer will be, I believe, an immense help. I'm not quite sure how big the download would be, but I do take it that it would be quite big. The book itself isn't particularly very big. Amazing really how they've managed to get everything condensed into such a small space. It is fairly fine print, but that doesn't really detract from it at all. The author in his preface says that most people don't understand the incredible amount of work that went into it, and I believe that. I believe producing something of this quality, it is absolutely and completely outstanding. It is probably priceless for the English Bible reader. Well, there we are. That's my recommendation for today. I wish you every blessing. If you take hold of one of these books, you can get them on the internet brand new. If you have one of these, it will last you all your lifetime, and whenever you're in the Old Testament, it'll be the dictionary of choice that you'll refer to. Well, God bless you. I look forward to catching up with you another day. Have a great day. Bye for now.